What's going on, everybody? This is Living in Arizona Now, and today we are coming to you from Tucson, the old Pueblo. So we're going to go around Tucson, show you the things to see and do when you visit Tucson. The second largest city in the state of Arizona with a population of around 600,000 people. And home to the University of Arizona Wildcats. But you can see Tucson's right here in the southern part of Arizona. All right, guys, first up on the list, we're going to head out to the Gaslight Theatre out here in Tucson. This is a great place to get good food, fun shows, and a lot of people who show up here say it's reasonably priced. So the tickets are about $27 for adults, $25 for students, and $25 for seniors and military, $15 for children. During the Friday and Saturday, open 6 to 8:30 p.m. and Sunday 3 p.m. to 6. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it opens at 7. But this really is classic Tucson, early Americana in the 1950s when the good old times were ready to roll, right? Next up, let's showcase a little bit of the outdoors over here at Agua Caliente Park. And just in case you're wondering, Agua Caliente in Spanish means hot water. Well, out here in Tucson, no joke, the water can get hot, doesn't it? Probably a spring though. Out here you'll find a desert oasis with a ranch house that's staffed by an all-volunteer crew. But also you'll have picnic tables and grills with restrooms, paved and hard-packed walking paths. So that's good for those of you who want to get out there and not have to worry about slipping and sliding around. So if you're looking for an outdoor oasis, definitely come on out to Agua Caliente. Next up, let's head out to Tanque Verde Ranch. Now, down here in Tucson, it's famous for one thing really in particular, I would say, dude ranches. So there's many ranches all across the Tucson area, but you got to come out here and check out this Tanque Verde Ranch, especially if you like horses and other livestock from old Western history. And actually, this Tanque Verde Ranch voted top resort in the Southwest by Condé Nast in 2021. So it's sitting on 60,000 acres in this beautiful, lush desert out here in Tucson, right next to the Rincon Mountains and even near Saguaro National Park and Coronado National Forest. So if swimming in nice pools in the desert, horseback riding, catching up on some history sounds like your thing, while being immersed in this biosphere of the desert, then you've got to come on down here to this here resort. And hey, don't be too intimidated by all the reptile figurines and statues you may see, because it's just a friendly reminder letting you know that those reptiles are out there in that desert. Along with some very friendly mammals like coyotes and javelinas and maybe some bobcats and mountain lions, along with some little fuzzy bunny rabbits and roadrunners and a whole bunch of different critters that roam the Sonoran Desert. And lots of friendly horses. Next up, let's head out to Redington Pass. So this is a high mountain pass between the Santa Catalina Mountains and the Rincons, right there in Pima County. So if you head just east of Tucson, you'll be able to find Redington Pass, an area that's just located in between some farming and ranching areas, also along a river that's not too commonly spoken about in Arizona, but one that did have a great historical past, the San Pedro River. People like to come out here with their all-terrain vehicles, ATVs, motorcycles, and razors, you name it, and also do some hiking out here. So it's a popular outdoor activity All right, next up, we're going to head out to Trail Dust Town right here in the city of Tucson. This place is popular for the kids. You know, these old station wagon, stagecoach, set-up places that are old Wild West towns have some significance out here in Tucson. As you guys know, old Tucson was another one of those places, but nowadays people like to just go out here to Trail Dust Town and hang out because look how cool it looks. Especially if you're coming from out of town, walking around a place like this will give you an old feel for the Wild West back in the days, telling you what the people out here were into: tobacco, billiards, saloons, and you know, it was a wild life out there. And a place like this will kind of remind you of getting down the road and heading out towards Tombstone. If you hang out here long enough, you'll feel like, hey, I guess I better get out there to Tombstone and see what's going on out there too. But a place like this takes you back in time. It's like a flashback to the old turn of the century. And next up, how about a stroll around the University of Arizona, home of the Wildcats? This is actually one of the best universities in the Southwest. As you know, we're a basketball school, not so much a football school. We're pretty good at baseball too, but the University of Arizona Wildcat campus is well groomed with great facilities and definitely worth checking out, especially if you're thinking about going to the University of Arizona. You'll walk away from here saying, hey, this looks like a fun place to go to college, or university, I should say. And next up, let's head down the road from the university to downtown Tucson. So downtown Tucson is famous for, let's see here, food, bars nearby, and some commerce. But there's also some areas that you'll want to check out down here that are historical quarters, the Museum of Art, and that whole historic block around there. I like walking around downtown Tucson when I come to town, especially in the evening time when it's not too hot, just kind of hanging out and taking in some of the history. And I would say there's a bit of a revival taking place in downtown Tucson, so it's up and coming. So add the Congress Street, 4th Avenue District, Presidio District, and the Main Gate District when you're heading down here to downtown Tucson. It is walkable, especially around the Presidio District. It is walkable, but here's a look at one of the pubs you'll find down here. You never know what kind of unique stone or old Western pub you'll stumble upon, but just walking around here, really relaxing vibes. Hopefully you get some good food. Tacos are popular down here, but you might come across a Sonoran dog or one of the other local cuisines. All right, next up, let's talk about Mount Lemmon. So this is actually one of my favorite things to do when I come down to Tucson is head up to the summit of Mount Lemmon. It is in the Catalina mountain range, but the mountain in and of itself is the tallest. And up top there, you'll find a ski resort. So this is a really cool area to go in the summer and the winter time. You might see some black bears, but more than anything, you get these really cool rock formations along the drive and great views, and you'll even get out of the desert a bit and into the pines. So really a worthwhile trek to make, no matter the season. And the town at the top is actually called Summer Haven, established in 1939, elevation 8,200 feet. Lots of people come up here to get a cabin, Airbnb, or even maybe even build a cabin and stay there when it gets too hot down in the valleys. While on the top up here, you can do a hike, you can walk around the general store and the gift shop. You can take a little bit of fresh fudge and, snack on it while you do your hiking. Maybe get some locally sourced honey. And I told you there was great views up here, didn't I? And you can even see the ski resort up here, but with the great views. Really nice place. But you come up here and do some skiing in the wintertime. All right, let's head over to the Pima Air and Space Museum. This is a great place for aviation buffs, kids, and anyone who really has an interest in the Air Force. One of the interesting things about the Pima Air and Space Museum is that it's an aircraft boneyard. So there's all types of different aircraft here from the World War II, Vietnam era, the most recent Afghanistan, Iraq era, and they also have some of the latest and greatest things on display. But this is definitely one of the best aviation museums you'll find in the country, right next to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. And like I told you, that aircraft boneyard right here, you can see there's actually a couple of these aircraft boneyards down here. One of the reasons they like to use the desert for aircraft boneyards is because of the dry, arid climate. It doesn't have a lot of corrosive material with the humidity or moisture in the air. So that's one of the reasons why they like to do the boneyards out in the desert. And I'd like to also point out the Tucson International Airport. A lot of people only think you can arrive in Arizona through Phoenix Sky Harbor or now Mesa Gateway, but there's an international airport down here in Tucson. After all, they got 600,000 people living in the metro area. So we'll just show you around the international airport because some of you might be arriving here and have a curiosity about what it's going to look like when you're arriving or departing. And for the rest of you adventure bugs and people who like to get outdoors and do some hiking, Sabino Canyon, definitely add that up to the top of the list. Most locals will tell you Sabino Canyon is one of their favorite places. If they're willing to tell you about the hidden gems, then that's on them. But Sabino Canyon is probably the most well-known hiking area around the Tucson area that most tourists are usually recommended to go visit. As you can see, Tucson is full of amazing resorts and haciendas, ranches, but this one, Hacienda Del Sol, we're going to show you around here and let you take in all of the beauty and grandeur of how they build this beautiful hacienda right in the middle of the desert surrounding areas and make you feel like you're in this teeming desert. When you think of desert, you don't think it's usually this green with all these cactuses and mesquite trees and palo verdes and blooming flowers. But hey, that's the desert, especially down here in Tucson. Now, Tucson, just like its brother Phoenix, is popular with golf, and this golf and stuff right here is a place where you can get your fix for the whole family. With arcades and video games and entertainment that all the kids just love to hang out here, don't they? All right, next up, let's talk about the zoo. So the Reid Park Zoo is open year-round, and because it is also in collaboration with the University of Arizona, it does have a zoological experience for you. Arizona in the summertime, a little bit hard to do any outdoor activities like going to the zoo, but I would say that no matter what time you're in Tucson, a day at the zoo in Arizona is always fun. Next up, if you've got kids and they like skating, take them over to Premises Skate Park. Or hey, if you're an older person like Tony Hawk style and you like to get out there and do some skating or rollerblading, head on out to Premises Skate Park. But you can see it's a real cool indoor skating experience. And hey, if you're looking to do some bike riding out here, they've got the Tucson Bike Path, and you can cruise this path all around in long distance too. Really nice path right along the old river. But yeah, I would say if you're into bicycles, this is a good place to get some time on the bike. And as you'll see, people actually use the path for jogging and running as well, not just for bike riding. And if botany and plants are your thing, then definitely head over to the Tucson Botanical Gardens and check out all of the beautiful landscaping and plant life that we have out here in the desert. Now, if you're into golf, the big time golf, actually, Arizona National Golf Club, but there's so many different golf clubs out here to just single out one, that's not necessarily the case, but Arizona National Golf Club is the one that we're going to highlight here. No matter where you're staying, whether you're near Oro Valley or the Catalina Mountains or Sabino Canyon, you'll find that there's very many golf clubs around here. A lot of them use that recycled water, that effluent water, to water the greens, water the grass, so don't drink any of the water straight out of the sprinkler. Try not to even get it on you. But hey, when you come out here, check out these golf courses. Really a fun thing to do year-round out here in Arizona. Especially in the wintertime, people like to come from far and wide to do some golfing. All right, guys, that's going to wrap this one up here of Tucson. I wanted to also mention the Sonoran Desert Museum, which is a little bit outside of Tucson. Saguaro National Park, just a little bit out of Tucson, as well as Old Tucson, just outside of Tucson, and San Javier. So look those four up if you want to get outside of the town as well.